This video I'm going to be showing you how to make this really cute rainbow cloud beanie, which is a really easy crochet project and hopefully something that you'll enjoy making. So for this project I'm going to be using a 4mm hook since I'm using a DK yarn. And you want to start by just making a slip knot and chaining 34 chains. Now you can use whatever colours you want. If you want to use different colours you can, but I will be using the rainbow colours. Now you want to chain 9 in your next colour, which should be white because this is going to make up the cloud part. Place a half double crochet in each of the first 7 chains, starting from the second chain from your hook. In the 8th chain of the white, you want to put another half double crochet, but instead of finishing it as usual with the white thread, you want to switch over to the red yarn and use that to pull through. Then you continue the process of putting down the 34 half double crochets in the rest of the row, continuing all the way down with the first colour that you're using, in this case, mine being red. And when you get to the end of the row, you want to chain 1 and then you want to turn. For the second row, you want to repeat what you've just done, but working into the back loops only. So you want to create 34 half double crochets in your coloured yarn and work them all into the back loops. This is going to happen on every single row. Every stitch from now on will be in the back loop only. Then when you reach the last half double crochet of your colour, you want to once again finish with the white, and then place 7 half double crochets in white and 1 increase at the end of the row. Chain 1 and turn. For row 3, you want to start by putting 1 increase in the back loop only of the white, and then placing 8 half double crochets until you get to the colour. Once you reach the colour, you want to place 34 half double crochets until the end of the row. Chain 1 and turn. For row 4, you want to start by placing your 34 half double crochets of your colour in the back loops only. Then once you reach the white, you want to place 8 half double crochet stitches and then 1 decrease at the end. For our decreases, we're going to be doing invisible decreases. If you're not sure how to do this, I'll put a video down below in the description. Chain 1 and turn. For row number 5, you want to start in the back loops only again with 1 decrease and then 7 half double crochets of the white. Once you reach the colour, you want to do 34 half double crochets, and at the end of the row you want to chain 1 and turn. For row number 6 you want to do 34 half double crochets in your colour, and then 4 half double crochets and 2 decreases of the white, making sure that all of your stitches are in the back loop only. When you reach the end of the row, chain 1 and turn. For row 7 you want to start with the back loops only, 2 decreases, and then 2 half double crochets, all in the white. Once you reach your colour, you want to place 34 half double crochets of the colour. Make sure to chain 1 and turn at the end of the row. For row number 8, you want to place 34 half double crochets of your colour, then 2 half double crochets and 2 increases in the white. Chain 1 and turn at the end of the row. For row number 9 you want to start with back loops only, 1 increase, and then 5 half double crochets, all in the white. Continue as usual with your 34 half double crochets in your colour. Chain 1 and turn at the end of the row. For row 10 you want to start with the 34 half double crochets of your colour, and then create 5 half double crochets and 1 decrease in the white. Chain 1 and turn at the end of the row. For this row it's going to be slightly different to the other rows. We're going to start with the back loops only, 2 increases, and then 4 half double crochets of your white colour. However, when you're finishing your 4th half double crochet, you're instead going to introduce the next colour, in my case this being my orange colour, instead of continuing with my red. And then I place 34 half double crochets of my coloured yarn, in this case being orange. When you reach the end of the row, chain 1 and turn. For row number 12 you want to start with your back loops only, 34 half double crochets of your colour, and then you want to place 7 half double crochets and 1 increase of your white. Chain 1 and turn at the end. When I'm done with a colour in this project, I simply slip stitch into a nearby stitch, chain 1, and then I cut so I can pull through and create a loose end that I can sew in later. For row 13 you want to start with 1 increase in the back loops only, and then 8 half double crochet stitches in your white yarn. And then do 34 half double crochets in your coloured yarn, as usual, making sure to chain 1 and turn at the end of the row. For row number 14 you want to start with your 34 half double crochets with your coloured yarn, as always working in the back loops only. And then you want to simply place 10 half double crochets of your white colour along each of the stitches that's already been made. Chain 1 and turn at the end of the row. For row 15 you want to start with back loops only, 1 decrease, and then 8 half double crochet stitches in your white. Then, as always, place your 34 half double crochet stitches of your coloured yarn, making sure to chain 1 and turn at the end of the row. For row 16 you want to start with your back loops only, 34 half double crochets in your coloured yarn, and then place 9 half double crochet stitches in your white, simply placing 1 half double crochet stitch in each of the stitches already made. Chain 1 and turn at the end of the row. For row 17 you want to start with a back loop only decrease, followed by 7 half double crochet stitches in your white colour. Then do 34 half double crochet stitches in your coloured yarn as usual, chaining 1 and turning at the end. For row number 18 you want to do your back loop only 34 half double crochets of your coloured yarn, and then 4 half double crochet stitches and 2 decreases of your white. Chain 1 and turn at the end of the row. For row number 19 you want to do 2 increases in the back loops only and 4 half double crochet stitches for your white. Then continue as usual with your 34 half double crochet stitches in your coloured yarn. However, this is the last row of our orange colour, so we will be finishing with the yellow yarn at the end for the final stitch. For the rest of the project we're going to be repeating rows 2 to rows 19, from rows 20 to rows 54. And now I'm going to show you the specific rows on which we have to do the next colour changes, as these are different to the colour changes as we made in the first section. For row 20 we're going to repeat row 2, making sure that we finished row 19 by pulling through the yellow yarn. And then we want to do 34 half double crochets of our coloured yarn, and then 7 half double crochets and 1 increase of our white. Chain 1 and turn at the end of the row. Before we do the first row of our green, we have to make sure that we pull through with green at the end of row 29. This allows us to create the first row of green with row 30, doing 34 half double crochets of our next colour, this time being green, and then 7 half double crochets and 1 increase of our white. Chain 1 and turn at the end. This row is again a repeat of row 11. To switch from green to blue, we're going to work on row 39, creating 1 increase and then 8 half double crochets with our white colour as usual in the back loops only, and then instead introducing our blue colour instead of carrying on with our green. And then we do 34 half double crochets in our new blue colour, chaining 1 and turning at the end, this row being a repeat of 3. To change from blue to purple, we're going to do 1 increase and then 8 half double crochets of our white colour, and Then we introduce our purple instead of carrying on with our blue. Then we do 34 half double crochet stitches of our coloured stitches, and we chain 1 and turn at the end. And this row is a repeat of the row 13 we did originally. Once we reach row 55, we're not going to be copying any of our previous rows. Instead, we're going to start with 2 decreases and then 2 half double crochets of our white colours. And we continue with our purple yarn and do 34 half double crochets of the coloured, chaining 1 and turning at the end. For row 56 we do 34 half double crochets of our purple, and then place 2 half double crochets and 2 increases in our white colour. Chaining 1 and turning at the end. For our final row, row 57, we're going to do 2 increases and 4 half double crochets for our white. And then we do 34 half double crochets in our coloured yarn before chaining 1 and turning at the end of the row. Do not cut your yarn, we are going to carry on using it to join together the rest of the project. I want the neat side, which is basically the side you can't see the colour changes on, facing outwards. So you're going to want to fold the first row to the last row, and then we can put our hook through both stitches of the last and first rows. And now we want to do a single crochet along each of these stitches down the row, making sure to stop before you reach the first white stitch. When you're finishing the last stitch of the coloured yarn, you want to pull through and finish with the white. Then you want to turn the project inside out and pull your hook to the other side of the project so that you can continue the same process, putting your hook through both rows and creating 1 single crochet to join them together. Chain 1, cut and pull through to finish. This means that you're going to have one side that has a more obvious join between the white section and a neat seam on the coloured section, and vice versa on the other side. To bunch together the top of the hat, you want to use any coloured thread that you have and start threading it between the stitches. Doing this allows you to pull on the thread and bunch up the stitches, which creates a nice neat top. And then once you've done this, you want to thread again across the gap to make sure that it's all closed up and as neat as it can be. To finish off, you just want to create a knot however you can. This is how I do it, and hopefully that makes sense to you. And if it doesn't, then I'm sure you've got your own way of being able to do it too. And now I can cut the yarn and just sew in my last loose end. And that is it. That is your finished project. It leaves you with a nice inside and a nice outside of the hat, and leaves you with this really cute cloud brim that I hope you like. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you're just as happy as I am with it. I hope you enjoyed making this project. Thank you very much for watching along with me. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want. And hopefully see you in the next one.